forward to the cloud. Okay. Hello, I'm Leah Skirdal, and today I am sharing 3 important aspects of healthy, vital relationships. My husband and I have just celebrated 30 years of matrimonial bliss. On my wedding day, my sweet 89-year-old granny called my soon-to-be husband over, grabbed his lapel and pulled his ear down to her mouth and said, "You don't know what you're getting into." She was right. If you've been in a long-term relationship or if you've ever been married, you know what I mean by matrimonial bliss, right? So I've been working on this relationship for over 30 years. And I've got a couple really key ingredients that I want to share with you about how to maintain a healthy relationship. The bottom line is communication. And 3 aspects of communication are managing your assumptions, prioritizing love, and being aware of the vibration that you're sending out. So I am going to share my screen. And see how that goes. There we go. So one of the important ingredients is to manage your assumptions. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a fabulous book. There we go. Oh, there we go. The 4 Agreements, which is a whole course on relationships and communication. Highly recommend it. Don Miguel Ruiz says that the problem with making assumptions is that we believe them. I had the opportunity to revisit my assumptions. One night when Christopher and I were getting ready for bed, winding down for the day, and he was on his computer and not paying any attention to me, like couldn't get his attention at all. So I felt a little discounted. I felt unloved, and I went to bed. And then when he came to bed, I pretended I was asleep. And then in the morning, I was still mad. I was still pissed off. And then I found out the rest of the story. He had been reading an email from his friend who was canceling their lunch because he was off to another city around the world to rescue his daughter who had just been attacked. My husband was very empathetic, compassionate about his friend. And of course, he was also concerned about his own daughters. So the assumption that I had that it had anything to do with me was incorrect. So I noticed that. Now I check my assumptions. Another key is to prioritize love. In the way that the sunshine filters down on the vegetation, it's not doing anything, but it is transforming everything. I had a transformative conversation with my daughter in the kitchen. What are all these miscellaneous forks? I don't know. Well, I want my forks back. I don't know, there are plenty of forks in the drawer. But they don't match. It's just a fork. But I prefer my forks to match. It's just a fork. And I had to, really notice that my relationship with my daughter is more important to me than my relationship with my forks. So if you're missing any forks, or if you recognize one of these, You can check my fork drawer. Another important ingredient is to be aware of your vibration. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, look first to energy, frequency, and vibration. Well, I believe if you want to understand the secrets of an intimate relationship, look to energy, frequency, and vibration. My energy bubble and your energy bubble overlap in the space of we. And in that space of we can have a positive impact or not. I had a client who came in for an energy healing session, and she said that her husband had left in the red pickup truck, and she did not think he was coming back. I gave her a tool to work with during our energy healing session, a tool that I'll share with you in a moment. And toward the end of our session, her cell phone rang and went to voicemail. And after the session, she grabbed the voicemail message, and it was from her husband asking if he could come home. Now, we both felt that the positive vibration of love and acceptance that she had sent out had been received like a radio transmission, so that he felt loved and accepted enough to call and ask if he could come back. So here is this little tool that I call the Divine Love Triangle. Connecting my heart to your heart to the place of oneness with all that is. Now, take a moment and think about maybe a relationship where you have had some disharmony. And imagine that you're connecting into your heart. Now, the heart, the embryonic heart cells were the first to come into form, and they are the closest to divinity that your heart cells have the coding of the oneness of all creation, the oneness of humanity, where we're all interconnected. The brain and the mind, that came later. So when we tap into the wisdom of our heart, we can access that wisdom of our interconnection. So imagine that you're connecting into your heart wisdom and into the heart wisdom of another person. And you allow divine love to flow through the triangle in both directions. Place of oneness, heart to oneness. And then see what result comes later. I have used this tool numerous times in multiple situations with great results, as have my clients. I have also used this in groups of people that have had disharmony. So heart to oneness, heart to oneness, heart to oneness, heart to oneness, until you have a connection, an interconnection of a pattern of all interconnected place of oneness. Now, when you're in your place of the heart, and you're connecting to the other person in their place of the heart, then you ask, what does the other person need? And you listen with the ears of your heart. And then with love, you communicate to the other person, what is your need? And then you allow that wisdom, the soul wisdom, the higher level of wisdom, to percolate down into the ego personality and see what shows up. So I invite you, when you next go home, when you're at a family reunion, when you are going to a team meeting or a committee meeting, that before you step across the threshold, that you do the inner work, check your assumptions, come from the place of love, and send out a vibration of well-being and your higher intention. Before, notice when maybe the partner does not clean the kitchen the way you want, or the kid spills paint someplace that's hard to clean, or before you send that email message in response, check your assumptions. Are you coming from love? What is your vibration that you're sending out? And connect to that divine love triangle. And then see what shows up from there. Many blessings. I look forward to hearing your good results. I'm Leah Skirdahl. My business is Mastery in the Art of Living.